All right, hey folks, Michael here with Sean Irby, who's the person who developed and built this amazing homebrew game called 8-Ball Beyond. It's not 8-Ball Deluxe Beyond, it's 8-Ball Beyond, yeah. And it looks actually crazy amazing. This looks like it rolled off factory floor. It's just, everything looks so professionally built. And I've seen some other kind of publicity about this game, right? So that's kind of why I was interested to kind of get you on the horn and kind of talk a little bit about the game and the process and how you got here, right? So if we start there, like so what's your name? Where are you from?
Yeah.
And what's your pinball story?
Sure. So I'm Sean Irby. I'm from Seattle, Washington. I got into the hobby back in 2016 just from going to a barcade that was near my apartment. I just really quickly got sucked into like the competitive scene there.
Gotcha.
And shortly after that, after playing for a bit, I learned about TNA and the origin of like Iron Maiden, which started as a homebrew. And so that piqued my interest into getting into homebrew pinball, but it wasn't until a couple years after that in 2019 when I took a break from working and I had a lot of time off. And so that was when I decided like, okay, like now's the time to do it. I'm gonna try and figure out how to make my own game. And so ever since that point, for the past 4 years, I've been working on this pretty much.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so it's a little bit a product of the COVID almost? Because the pandemic kind of helped people to kind of get deeper into their hobbies. I don't know how that affected you, but...
It certainly gave me more time to work on it, for sure.
Yeah. For sure, yeah. So this is based on, like, it's 8-Ball from 8-Ball Deluxe, and there's another 8-Ball game as well, right? Have you borrowed from both games? Or?
Yeah, so the concept for the game was trying to like make a futuristic 8-Ball game and try and incorporate some shot or geometry that was inspired from each of the original Valley games.
Yeah.
You've got the original 8-Ball, and 8-Ball has this candy cane looking shot around here, and on this game I've flipped it around and it feeds this upper flipper that's pointed at the saucer and this bank of targets, and so that's 8-Ball Deluxe flipped around. And then the third game in the 8-Ball series is 8-Ball Champ. And I've pretty much taken the same shot from 8-Ball Champ that kind of goes around the pop bumpers up to this scoop at the top of the playfield. And so that's how all of the games come together into this one.
Holy shit, yeah. So you borrowed from 3 different games to come up with this layout. Yeah, and I don't think I've ever seen like that little kind of loop around to the upper flipper. That's a pretty clever move, right? To feed the upper flipper. Looks a little bit similar like to the Rick and Morty shot, but it's not quite the same.
There's a similar shot in like Stern's Flight 2000. It's kind of an old game.
Yeah. I have one of those. Yeah, but that's right. That's just like on the left side there. Mm-hmm. That feeds into the ball walker. And there's a really neat like. So are you a big pool player by any chance, or?
No, not at all. It's like one of those things I'll play it once in a while. I was more inspired by like the 8-Ball like pinball games.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make a game that was that pinball people would be into, and I noticed during league nights that like everybody loves 8-Ball Deluxe.
Yeah. You don't like pinball if you don't like 8-Ball Deluxe.
It's like a perennial favorite. So when I was trying to think of a theme that I would be into and my friends would be into, like, and also something that would be kind of simple, like I went to this. It makes sense.
Yeah, understood. But I mean, so how do you start? Like, I mean, do you start with like 2 empty hands? Like, I'm gonna build a pinball machine from scratch with like everything looking like super professional, and also like the code looked really mature, like the UI elements that we've kind of seen so far. It's just like really, it looks like so well put together. So
I don't want it to give the illusion that it's all like planned out from the beginning. And then just execute it like and you're done. It's
how many iterations?
Process. You
mentioned a new playfield. This is the new playfield.
Right. So like it started with me in front of this program called Visual Pinball.
Oh, yes.
And that's a tool that people mostly use to make virtual recreations of games.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
And some people make original virtual games, but you can also use it as a prototyping tool to for like a physical game you want to make. And so that's what I did. And so I spent about 2 weeks trying to, come up with a layout that like kind of included everything from the 8-ball games. And
sweet.
Once it got to a point where it was a game that I was like flipping for a while and just having fun with, I was like, okay, well, I'll start with this.
Okay, so you basically had this like in a virtual representation for
yeah. Some of the shot widths were a little bit different. The placement was a little bit off, but what you can do from that program is export an image that's to like realistic scale, and then in your CAD program you can overlay that on top of a surface, and so that's your starting point where you start modeling everything.
So when you work in Visual Pinball, you said, so that's like almost like you're working in CAD drawings like already, right? So that's why it's so easy to get it out from there. Oh, that's fantastic. And all right, so then you have your virtual kind of pinball. So when it comes to the software part, I'm really interested in understanding like how you did you get the code like working in Visual Pinball as well, or how does that turn out?
I actually did. Someone wrote a tool called the MPF bridge. So so backing up some, like the software framework that this game uses is called MPF, and that's the Mission Pinball Framework.
Yes.
And
that's an open source.
It's
project.
an open source tool. It's probably the most widely used framework for people making their own machine. I really like using it. But anyways, someone wrote a tool that can interface with Visual Pinball. You can write your MPF code and have it work in Visual Pinball.
Sweet. Okay, so you would basically you would design it in MPF and then take it into Visual Pinball, not the other way around.
Yeah, you can do it either way. You can do it either way. You can fold one into the other whenever you want. But I think it's easier to start with a flipping game in Visual Pinball, and then start bringing in the actual software that you want to use with it. But I just want to point out that it's that kind of interfacing MPF with the Visual Pinball is, you don't want to take it too far in that direction. I was just using it for really rough stuff, like
So
the progression of the ball targets here that lights the 8-ball shot, but crazy light shows, no deep code or anything. It's just
you cannot get your
rough sketching.
So you sketch it up there. You cannot get your boilerplate, and that's kind of like how you bring it to life. That makes a lot of sense. So that's the software part, and then if we go into like the artwork on the game, like because everything looks like super professional, like the design of the playfield, the back glass.
Yeah.
Because you're not a graphic designer. So what is your day job anyway? Like
I'm a software engineer.
Oh, you're a software engineer. Okay, that helps. All right, sweet. So the artwork was.
Yeah, Jonathan Bergeron, also known as Johnny Crap.
Johnny Crap.
I was really in love with the artwork he did for Jurassic Park, and I remembered seeing his name in the translite. And so when it was like later on in the project, after I had gone through all the iterations and like kind of settled on the final layout, that's when I started looking for an artist. And so I eventually found him on Instagram, found his website, his portfolio, and said he was open to commissions. And so, I sent him an email and explained like what I was doing, and we just took it from there and started with the back glass.
The back glass is absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to zoom out here and get a better view of it. It's like a pool game in outer space. Let's just get it up here on the so that's basically what it looks like. It looks absolutely fantastic. I love the palette and the artwork. It's just amazing. And
you did an awesome job, for sure.
It sure did. And
It's like the same guy.
Another thing I was kind of curious on the same note there. So but he doesn't really control where all the inserts go in the playfield and stuff like that. That you kind of had nailed down first, or did he, because again, everything looks so well composed, right? That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like all the inserts kind of makes sense in the artwork, like that, like light effect you got going on there on all the balls there. It just looks amazing. And I don't know what are these different planets you advanced here?
Yeah. Or? So this lower playfield, lower third section of art represents the solar system that you're in, and so you're playing pool on these different planets in the solar system.
Okay,
so you start off on the first planet, and as you get further and further deeper into the solar system, the 8-ball gets harder.
Oh, okay.
You're eventually getting to this final planet here, final challenge.
Okay, so that is the Clendathu of the 8-ball,
yes.
Beyond, basically.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different for the playfield art because it's not just a blank canvas. You have some inserts that need to be where they are, and so that's why you really want to make sure before you start doing the playfield art that things are pretty firmed up before you start working on it.
Yeah, I understood.
It's harder to move things around after that.
Yeah, for sure. And it's sort of like when you design a game, it's also the like the placement of all the mechs and stuff underneath the playfield need to kind of line up when you insert and getting lights on there. I mean, you can't just do it in completely 2D from the top because you have stuff underneath the playfield you need to consider as well. So do you do that in Visual Pinball as well? Like the underside of the game?
No.
Design the mechs and stuff like that?
Like Visual Pinball is just, for me, was just the very rough early stages of like figuring out where the shots might need to be, the rough layout, and so once that's done, everything from that point is doing things in CAD, like a proper CAD modeling tool. I use Fusion 360. I think in the industry they use SolidWorks.
That's right.
But from that point, it's doing things in CAD, making a whitewood, adjusting things in the whitewood, bringing that back into CAD, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, understood.
And I'd say I did like 3 to 4 different whitewoods for this.
Oh wow! So that you've done a few iterations for sure.
Yeah.
So there's like Williams on the flippers here. And does that mean that most of the mechs are Williams as well? Like the slingshots, there's the pop bumpers?
Yeah, so I try to use things that were easily available, and so there's lots of Williams mechs that are available online through like Pinball Life or Marco.
Yeah, you just buy a complete kit and just bolt it in and off you go. And that kind of brings another question to life. It's sort of like, what kind of board set do you have in the back box here? Do you have a computer? Like, what power driver do you use?
Sure.
Is it the fast?
So I'm using a multimorphic.
Okay.
And, and those multimorphic boards talk to the switches and the lights and the coils on the game, and also they are plugged into a laptop that runs the game code.
Okay, gotcha.
So they're that interface between the switches and the coils and the game code.
Gotcha. So you basically have a laptop that is connected to these power driver boards somehow, and the laptop is
the laptop just has a USB cable going to the main multimorphic board.
Okay.
It's the P3 Rock.
The
P3 Rock sends out digital communication to coil driver boards and switch sensor boards that communicate back to the P3 Rock, which communicates back to the game code.
That sounds almost too simple for me. And the thing is, then you have a driver for the MPF framework for that board set, or just like the
MPF.
Is that a Linux laptop or is it a Windows laptop?
Yeah, the laptop is running Ubuntu.
Oh, okay. But you can run an MPF on Windows as well.
You can.
Yeah. And Mac if you want to do that. Yeah. So that's awesome. So this is basically a P3 multimorphic. Is that the same thing that P3, the company that makes the replaceable module playfield?
I'm pretty sure the same P3 Rock board is also used in their games.
Oh, wow.
I'm not too familiar with what's under the hood in their stuff.
No. But okay, so it's the same So what made you pick that particular platform? Because there are multiple out there, right? There's the fast framework or the fast board set. What's the difference there?
You know, there's really not that much difference. When I got started, I was looking for different solutions out there, and my first result was the multimorphic boards, and I saw all their data sheets, and after I was done reading them, I kind of knew what I needed, and so I was okay, sounds good.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, for sure. There was no. Yeah, when you see something that it just lights up, it's just like, this is what I need. Perfect. So that's awesome. So you don't really have that much hardware in there besides this board that drives all the coils, lights, and switches. And is it like a combo board then, or how does that work?
So there's, I believe there's 3 switch boards. Each of those can read 16 switches apiece.
Oh, okay.
And there's 3 coil driver boards in there. Okay. Each of those can drive 16 coils apiece.
And they're like serialized, you can add as many as you need, basically?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
They're all daisy chained with serial communications.
Yeah. That sounds easy enough. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know if we want to get into the gameplay. So the music was made by a group named Automat?
Automat, yeah. It's an Italo disco group from the 70s, and they made one album, and I've been in love with it for a long time. And when I started making this game that is like communicates like the future and space, and also the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. You got a really nice groove on it. Yeah, for sure. That's a win. So when it comes to other like sound assets, like sound effects and call-outs and stuff like that, what did you do with that?
So for the sound effects, I made all of those. I have a little bit of a background in audio production. So I used some of my synthesizers to make all the sound effects in the game.
Oh wow!
And the call-outs. There's one announcer in the game, and it's basically a text-to-speech program.
Oh, sweet!
And I originally just meant for it to be a placeholder, so I could try out different call-outs, because like the game
timing and stuff like that, and you kind of want to figure out where your pinball moments are and stuff like that.
But you know, it ended up sounding like an old like Stern like voice chip or an old Bally voice chip. So I was like, I can just leave it in.
It's like again back to Flight 2000. It's just like got a very limited kind of speech in that one. But all the game elements here, you got a spinner, you got your bumpers, you got your. So those balls that are on the side here, what kind of are those, like off the shelf or
no? So they originally I had like plain old like circle stand-up targets there.
Yeah.
But as I got deeper into the project and started adding more things to it, I was like, man, I could do something a lot cooler here.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to fit a drop target bank there, but I didn't have one that would fit. I don't even know if you could find one.
No. It's basically like an inch from the cabinet to the lowest ball there. So you won't be able to get an off-the-shelf bank to do that. You would have to design it yourself. I think.
So the only thing that I could think of doing was potentially making clear, like spherical ball targets. So
they're all clear, and they're just colored LEDs. Is that?
Yeah, they're RGB LEDs actually, so they can turn all sorts of different colors. And so I learned a little bit about mold making and resin casting.
All right.
Found some like high impact polyurethane resin to use.
Oh wow! So you 3D printed those yourself? Basically.
So I started with the 3D print, and that was I sanded it and like polished it, clear coated it so it was super smooth, and so I could use that as the master for making a mold that I would then use with resin. Because
understood. Yeah.
If you tried to do 3D printed stuff there, you would get layer lines. And it wouldn't look so good.
So this is another part here I can see is 3D printed because they got the lines there.
Yeah,
and is that the same for there's a bunch of cool plastic things in the back there. You got your charge level. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. Yeah, it's like up here, and you got the what do you call that in pool? The triangle. I don't know what. I don't know anything about pool.
It's the rack display.
It's the rack display.
Yeah. And so that's the part you can't see is a 3D printed body that has all these chambers for each of the different lights in there.
Yeah.
The outer piece is cast just like these ball targets.
Yeah.
But it's made a little bit more cloudy, so it diffuses light better. And there are some other 3D printed parts like the spinning moon / cue ball back there.
Oh man, that looks so good.
For some reason, being lit from inside, you don't really see the layer lines so much there. No. And then, the 8-ball assembly there is 3D printed too, but I sanded and
that looks really polished. That's really cool. So I mean, so like all the plastics that, so that's Johnny Kraft as well design?
Yes, yeah.
And like, how do you go about? Can you just like tell somebody to print on these plastic and cut them because these look like they're from any like Stern whatever, right? So where does that come from?
Yeah. So there's an individual, Lonnie Meehan. I don't know if I pronounced his last name right, but he's active on Facebook, especially in the Strictly Custom Pinball Facebook group.
Yeah, there's a Facebook group.
I reached out to him on there because he does plastic work as well as doing full playfields too.
Oh, right, yeah. That was my next question. So is this from CPR or did you use somebody else?
So the playfield is from another individual, Greg Walker.
Okay.
He's his company is Fantastic Pinball, and he's from Ottawa, I believe.
All right.
So right before Expo, I reached out to him. It wasn't right before Expo, but a few months before Expo, I was like, hey, I had this playfield artwork. I need like this final playfield. Can you help me out? And so he CNC'd a playfield, installed all the inserts, direct printed the artwork, and got it to me just in time for me to do a playfield swap and make it to Chicago.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah. So this is all like one like digital print basically. It looks amazing.
It's a really cool machine that does this. It's a massive printer with a big print head that just goes back and forth like this in small increments across the playfield.
Yeah, because it looks like super sharp. There's some really like nice outlines and stuff, right? And it looks like almost like screen printed. At least from when you're standing from here. I don't know if you got better vision than me and you might be able to see, but it looks absolutely fantastic.
That's really the big plus of modeling everything in the game in CAD, because you end up with these digital files that you can just send to other people and say like, hey, cut this playfield, hey, draw this artwork on top of it, and it's all going to line up.
So what is the universal format that kind of works across multiple kind of disciplines? Is that like DXF?
DXF,
That's what it is.
Typically what you're going to send out to other folks.
Understood. So if we go into the gameplay here, like we're going to play the game in a bit here. So there's some locks lit there, and there's some other things kind of flashing here. So what is the objective of the game other than battling the planets, you said? We're playing pool on different planets.
Yeah, so the main progression of the game is just like the 8-ball games of the past. Get balls 1 through 7.
Okay.
That lights the 8-ball, and to get that, you do the U-turn here, and then hit the saucer.
All right, and that advances.
Yeah, and so there's a bunch of other features. There's multi-ball, the green shot here on the left. Hitting that progresses and eventually starts multi-ball. There's some other things like these charge targets, the red inserts here will build up your playfield multiplier. And when it's ready, you'll have this lightning bolt insert that you can trigger. You can move it around with your flipper buttons. I feel like we're getting a little bit into this stuff here.
But it all kind of comes together. Because you can kind of see the charge meter on the back of the playfield there. It's like a little LEDs that are kind of stacked together, so it kind of becomes like a meter all the way up to 5x. So and that you kind of build up and it decays over time, stuff like that.
Exactly.
Oh man. Right. So I'll let you go first, and I'll just see what you're doing and ask questions as we kind of move along.
So the skill shot phase, you can it's sort of like Ghostbusters. You can choose the shot that you want to hit with your left flipper button.
Yeah.
So I'm cycling between the lanes up there, and then this 8-ball saucer shot, and that's the super skill shot.
So where does the ball launch? Okay, so it just jumps.
Yeah, so you'd have to short plunge to get that one.
Yeah.
And with your right flipper, you can choose an award. And so the award that you'll get is reflected on the screen and on this rack display in the back left. And so I always like to go for the scratch guards.
Okay.
So those are your out lane ball saves.
Oh, okay.
And so yeah, that gives you a little bit of insurance while you're playing the game.
All right, so okay. Scratch guard, that's the ball save.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I'm not feeling so confident on being able to.
That's a pool term, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to put it on the lanes up here and hope I fall into it. All right. Yeah, so I can try and get a multi-ball going on that left shot. Let's see. Yeah, there's a scoop back there. So on accident, I hit this center target bank, and that activated this thing called the multi-cue. Okay. And so the multi-cue is this group of 3 inserts that you can move up and down with your flipper buttons. So I can move it down with my left and up with my right, and I can position it so that if I hit any of the 3 that it's pointing to, I get all 3 of those balls.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
And you even have flipper staging. Is that what you did now when you go moving it?
Yeah.
Of course. Homebrew.
So I'll try. So the 8-ball is ready to collect. But after I get balls 1 through 7, I'm in this short little timed round where I can collect some awards over here.
Okay.
So it's cycling between these columns.
Yeah, advanced spinner, ab scratch.
I want to get the one that advances the multi-ball progress. The green one. Oh shoot, I missed it.
That voice is wicked. Have you added like some audio effects to it as well?
There's a little bit of reverb and delay on it. That's it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so I think we talked about this, the charge level. So
oh yeah, that's right.
So I'm up to 2x now.
Yeah.
And so I have this glowing lightning bolt insert that I can move around with my flipper buttons. And so I can position it so that when I backhand this U-turn and go for my 8-ball shot, that I'll turn on my 2x playfield multiplier.
Oh, sweet.
So let's see if I get it. I did not get it.
Can you hit the 8-ball both from the lower flippers?
You cannot. Yeah. You have to get it from the upper flipper.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you could get a lucky bounce in somehow, but I'd like to see it. Let's try again. Oh. Oh gosh.
All the way up there, not a thing on top of it.
Third time's a charm. Uh-oh. Looks like we had a little bit of a malfunction here.
Yeah. So you don't have a ball search on it yet, or?
Actually, I think it might ball search. Let's see. Here we go. And that's, yeah, that ball search is something that's baked into MPF. You know, I didn't have to write that. Yeah.
There we go. So when you're on Advanced Planet, what happens then? Do you get into, instead of just like higher terrain or like
yeah, so the game gets progressively more difficult. So in that round before, the balls could be collected at any time.
Okay.
So now they'll wipe out every 5 seconds, and then they'll turn back on. So
you don't get you don't get any freebies.
Right. So by the time you get to the very last planet, you know, only one ball is lit at a time.
All right. That's like 8 planets down, though.
Yeah.
9.
So I'm in multi-ball now, and so everything else in the game is available, but now I have trick shots. Those are like the turquoise shots that you see.
Oh, nice.
And
so are all the inserts clear, or are there any colored inserts?
Yeah, they're all clear.
They're all clear.
Yeah.
That gives you a lot of flexibility.
It does. I think if I were to do it over again, I would probably use more colored inserts because it looks better. But anyways, I did this thing called a trick shot where I did half of the trick shot where you hit the ball up to the top there and a magnet grabs it.
Oh,
and
there's a magnet back there as well.
Oh, shoot. Oh, it's okay. Let's see if I can get...
Awesome. Yeah, I've never played this game before in my life, so I played a bunch of 8 balls, but let's see. So what is a good score on this game anyway?
I think breaking 100 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100 million.
I'm gonna see if I can do the same as you did. I want to get these. I want to get my scratch. Super. There's a lot of awards here. Jesus. And you can't move it. Yeah.
There you go.
Multi-cue activated. One ball.
I want to get the multi-ball.
Multi-cue activated.
Okay, multi-cue. So what does that rack trick do?
Yeah, so that spells out letters in the word rack, and that's like related to that display back there.
Yeah. So that, we haven't really talked about that. So when do you actually collect those awards there? Is that when you spell rack?
Finish spelling rack, you'll get whatever award is lit up there, and so you can also move that with your flipper buttons. So there's a lot of flipper selection in the game.
Yeah, you have to be switched on to know what's going on here, because if you don't know all these rules...
I did that because I like a game to be deterministic. Like, I want the player to be able to choose what's going to happen, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm really struggling getting the ball in the that lock up there. Cannot hit. So now I got into some. So what happened here now? Now what do you?
Yeah, you turned on your charge shot, your playfield multiplier.
Oh, okay. The music is just fantastic. It just feels like you're in some like 80s kind of robotic adventure. Like sounds a little bit like, you know, like Spy Hunter a little bit.
Well, it's the album Automat by the band Automat.
They were inspired by Automat? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a group called Automat. They just did this one album. It's called Automat.
Yeah, but there's a TV series called Automat.
Oh, really?
Automan. Yeah, it's like a, and it's about a. It's like an Android. It's like an Android. It's like a program or something like that. And it drives a car like super fast. It's like really weird. It's from the 80s. And this kind of sounds a little bit like the theme music to that movie. I was a big fan when I was a kid. Oh no! All right, so now I got the 8-ball lit, so I can advance. So right.
The voice reminds me of TX Sector.
There you go. I was trying to think of those games.
I love that game, TX Sector. Cool game.
Bonus round completed.
Right, let's see.
Can you do the same selection again on the next skill shot, or do you kind of like remove that from the list of things?
Yeah, you can't. Well, there's another scratch card award. You have 2 on the display there.
Okay, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
But I guess I could go for it and light this other one. So why not? Dang.
Charge level 3x.
Okay. Be over there.
Nice shot. Connecting round total.
There's a lot of information on the display there, so I guess that will kind of show you like, wow, that's a cool anime. So who did all the artwork on the back box or on the LCD?
I did all the animations.
Oh shit.
All the UI there.
Yeah.
I didn't do the background on that display that you see, but yeah, all the 3D animated stuff I did. There's a tool called Blender that you can use for like
open source.
Yeah, so I spent a lot of time like looking up like Blender tutorials on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of
millions of them.
yeah, there's millions of them, and there's a lot of like space related stuff too,
Yeah,
and so it nicely fit up with what I was trying to do.
There's a lot of assets available. You can just like once you figure out the ins and outs, you can do it yourself.
Blender is super fun. I wish I had, I don't know, gotten into motion graphics when I was in high school or something. I kind of love it. Oh dang.
Yeah, no scratch there. So when you hit it in the 8-ball, does the ball feed through this tube here? Is that the whole point of the 8-ball?
There's a VUK underneath the 8-ball, and the 8-ball has like a 90-degree like curved bend that'll feed it down the tube.
Gotcha. So you got an LED strip underneath it because it kind of like changes color, and I saw the color was kind of walking back and forth.
Yeah, it's an LED strip. The LEDs are pretty densely packed. And also there's a diffusing sheet of plastic on top of them. And the tube is sanded as well. So I was really trying to like diffuse it as much as I could so it looked like a beam rather than like spots.
Yeah. But this is an off-the-shelf kind of like plexiglass tube, or
it's just a.
It's not 3D printed.
No, it's just a plastic tube.
Yeah. It looks really good. It's a very cheap effect, I guess. But I mean, you can do so many cool things with LEDs.
Oh yeah.
So let's see what we want to do here. There wasn't a multi-ball, something you could.
Yeah, you can advance your multi-ball progress.
Yeah.
So you're one shot away from multi-ball. So if you get that, you'll be in multi-ball, basically.
Multi-ball.
Yeah.
Sweet. So now the objective is to.
Yeah, you can go for a trick shot, or you can go for collecting your 8-ball.
Oh yeah, that's right. I got the 8-ball lit, didn't I?
Yeah.
And like all progress is saved between balls, or
most progress.
Most progress, yeah.
There's a few things we didn't talk about, like the moon shatter that isn't carried over, but yeah.
The ball save was flashing for your information.
So it's something that I think is either a bug. It's either a bug in my code or NPF, but
the
grace period doesn't work exactly how it should right now.
It's
but
negative basically. So.
But what's really funny is like I thought people would give me some leeway like at the first show that I took it to, but when they like saw like that same thing happen, they're like, "Yo, Your ball save isn't working.
Yeah.
Where's my grace period?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
players want that. They kind of a lesson learned.
Yeah, people just expect that, and it's just like this is my ball drain, everything's shit now.
Yeah.
And that is like, as I say, the attitude just like turns.
Free ball. Multi-cue activated. One X Moon Shatter. Two ball.
Gosh. Bye.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't want to play with you. Irby, so that is like your brand? Or?
That's my last name.
That's yeah, but I mean that's the brand of the. Because you don't have a pinball company. I mean, this is just like all coming out of your own pocket.
Having fun with the Bally logo.
Yeah. That's clever. Collect 3 balls. No, I don't want to do that, do I? Because my 8 ball is lit, basically.
Yeah, so some of those awards, if they don't make sense, they'll give you a compensation, $5 million, I think it is.
Oh, okay. So there's a drop target in front of the 8 ball, so I need to down that first.
Yeah,
right?
by hitting the U-turn.
Oh, is that how it works? Okay. Then, okay. R. It said R. Yeah, that's just. Yeah, that voice is like hilarious. Oops. That's spelled rack.
Multi-ball advanced. Standard value increased.
Oh, scratch.
Ball saved.
Yeah, the ball really wants to drain on the left side there.
Ball not ready.
So what's the different colors on the ABC up there? I see it's kind of shifting now. It's
So
like
it's a progressive award, like, and they're color coded. So
okay.
right now, finishing those lanes increases the moon value. Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice
I
shot.
won.
Connecting round total.
When it's coming back through, try and hit the moon shot.
The moon. Okay. Oh, that was.
That's the feature we didn't talk about. But that's the moon shatter.
Level 2X.
Oh, there you go.
Shatter.
Oh, that's the cool animation. Yes, I saw that when you made that shot.
Yeah, so that starts at a value that's kind of low, but as you get more, the multiplied value goes up. So it starts at 1x, then goes to 2x, then 3x, then 10x. So whenever you get that 4th moon shatter, it's going to be pretty huge.
Yeah. So I got a K. Yeah, so I could have selected my. Yeah, I spelled out rack now, but I didn't really know what I had lit there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Already.
Oh, so it's ready. So the multi-ball doesn't get harder by...
It does.
Oh, shit.
That's good save.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a double danger, right?
Charge level 2X.
I'm really struggling getting a clean shot on the multi-ball shot. That is
a
game
that rewards control.
Yeah, I bet. Since you have so many choices to make as a player as well, it's just like for somebody who like intricate rules and like to make choices, I guess this is the perfect game. So I got a C there now. I'm just gonna collect. So now they're blue, the ABC.
Yeah, so that's the blue is your scratch cards, right? So that's the award.
Oh, look at that. Oh, there was a ball locked there. No!
So you started the trick shot again, so if you can send the ball back up the left there.
Up the left? The trick shot right there? Or
no, the one on the left.
Oh, left, yeah. No, miss. Okay. Okay, so now the ball wants to go up in the multi-ball. Yeah. Oh wow.
Didn't quite hit it clean enough.
So there's
you have to smash the ball back into the scoop behind it.
Oh, gotcha. So there's like there's a magnet. There's two magnets back there.
There's just one.
Is it just one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It was an insert. It kind of looks like a magnet. Also, there's an ADA ball. Have you like left out anything out of the game rules? I mean, there's like nothing is just like nothing is here by random. It feels like everything's so super smooth and well thought out. It's just hilarious. Yeah, this is amazing. Oh my, okay. I'll take it.
Charge level 2x.
So what is...
Charge level 3x.
Oh wow. So there was an insert flashing in the back there. Oh, super spin. That's what it says. So now my 8-ball shot is lit, right?
Yes.
Super slings? No! I was gonna tip past it.
You had a good run.
Yeah. At least I broke the 100 million.
Yeah.
That was my goal.
2x one. Okay. That'll be a big bonus. Let's see, 37.
Oh wow! And what did you get? You got 140 something as well, didn't you? Yes. Did I beat you at your own game? No.
You might. Yeah!
Oh, look at that!
Nicely done.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, so I mean, if there's not anything else like you want to talk about around the game, so where did the cabinet come from? It looks brand new.
Yeah, so I at the time I had no way to do any sort of woodworking. I didn't have a shop or anything to do something big like this, so I reached out to a company called Virtua Pin.
Oh yeah,
and they make virtual pinball cabinets as well as Williams reproduction cabinets.
Yeah, you can buy a next generation cab fully decal and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I bought a blank WPC cabinet.
Yeah. So that's why it feels so authentic. It's just Williams components. It's just Bally Williams cabinet. It's just it's fully legit, right? And So you did some metal work on the speaker panel back there, or is that something that you just can kind of send into somebody on the internet and they'll cut it out?
Right. So we were talking about like having things modeled, being able to export DXF files, and so there's like rapid prototyping companies that are available. I use this one called Send Cut Send.
Yeah.
And so you give them a flat file. It could be for a ball guide. It could be for the cover of your speaker panel, and they'll laser cut it and send it off to you in like a week or two.
Oh wow! So you can get so the ball guides on the game here, they're all custom made by this company.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Turnaround in 2 weeks. That's crazy.
And it's pretty affordable too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, what do you tell people how much money you spend on it? You obviously don't know, but I mean, what's the?
Yeah,
what
it's something that I tried to keep track of at the beginning, but eventually I got to a point. I'm like, what's the point? This is expensive. Takes a long time. I definitely, considering like the tools that I had to buy, classes I had to take, software subscriptions, like I could have bought a brand new Stern. It's not economical to like make your own game as opposed to buying a new one. At least for me, it's not. So
Yeah. So is there some graphic in the back there, or what is?
Yeah, so
there's some space effect back there. I just realized. I thought that was a reflection.
Yeah, so I had a back panel. And that was something that me and the artist didn't talk about. So I was like, okay, I have this like blank area in the back. I need to do something like on theme with it. So I got this rectangular panel of like translucent plastic, and it's sandwiched in between another sheet of plastic. There's just a big grid of LEDs that goes across the whole panel. So I've the software is coded to just make it like morph over time. And on top of that translucent sheet of plastic, there's a vinyl decal. It has a bunch of holes cut into it, so it gives like a bit of like an active like Starfield effect. I could do a lot more with it back there because those are all RGB, and all I'm doing is just like a random pattern. But
you just make it look like a Starfield, and because you could do like swirly things and all sorts of cool stuff. Right?
You could put up initials back there too if you like got the pattern.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, you don't really realize that until you look at it. So nothing is kind of just left to random in this game for sure. Yeah, it was pretty fun playing it. And thanks so much for taking the time to have a chat. It was
likewise. Thanks for checking it out. That was fun talking about it.
Yeah, this is so rad. Yeah, I'm going to play a few more games on it for sure this weekend. Cool. I need to go set up for the seminars. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. All right. See you later, folks.
Yeah.